Okay, so now I think it's recording the screen. Okay, all right. So we're going to start this with making our first list. So when we did this, how did we create the list? What was the first thing that we did? Well, okay, we're not importing anything. Sorry, guys. So this time we're not going to import anything because we're not using the turtle and we're not using random. Okay, we're just working on creating lists and learning how to print them out on the screen and manipulate them throughout a program. Okay. Yes, later on you can use these tools in a turtle program or using random, but right now we are just focusing on how to use lists, create them, and manipulate them. Okay. So when we're creating a list, what's the first thing that we need to do? We have to name the list. So I'm going to I have a list of names here that I've already created. So I've actually got my list name and I'm calling it names.
We don't get to name it anymore?
Nope, I've got it right here. So we're going to do that and then we'll play here in a little bit.
It's gotta be the brackets.
Okay, so how do we make sure that the computer program Python knows that it's a list? We use the brackets. Do we use the curly brackets or the square brackets? Square brackets. Very good. All right. So, okay. All right. So we're going to have a list of names here. And yes, I'm going to put like, let's see, I've got a list of silly names here. So we've got, yes. I'm going to have a list of names that are in a string. So we have a string list. All right. So I'm going to put Chewy.
That's my dog's name.
That's your dog's name?
Yes.
Ah. Captain Kirk. I can't ever spell her name. Hermione. You'll find out. You guys don't know who these people are? Chewbacca, Captain Kirk. Who's Captain Kirk?
He's also
Star Trek. Hermione. Harry Potter. Storm.
X-Men.
X-Men. And Buzz. Buzz Lightyear. Okay, so what do you see around all of my words? Quotations. And then what do you see in between all of my words? Commas. Okay, so we have all that. All right, so I'm going to go down to the next line. I'm actually going to make spaces because I like to space mine out because it makes it look neater and it makes it look cleaner. And I can see everything in my code that I need to see. Okay? All right. So that's what you know how to do already. You know how to create the list. You've done this. That's what you practiced last time, was just creating a list, and you created a list of colors, right? Yes, maybe 2 or 3 lists in your stuff. Okay. So the idea here today is that you're going to learn how to print the length of a list, how to make the program tell you how long the list is, and print all of the information that's in the list itself. All right. So I'm actually going to create a variable called length. And what's a variable? Something that holds what?
The bucket.
It's the bucket. The bucket. And the bucket holds information for us, okay? And if we go back over here and look at our cheat sheet that I put for you out here, what do you think I'm going to put in there if I'm using length as a variable? Len. Very good. Okay. So I am going to put Len, all lowercase. I'm going to put my parentheses, and then I'm telling Len, where to go look. Okay. And it's going to go look in names. Okay. So it's going to pull. So basically we're telling we're telling length, the length variable, to hold the information of the length of the list names. Okay? Everybody got that? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Anyone lost? Nope. We're good? Fabulous. Okay. The next piece that I want to teach you is the print feature. Okay, so we have print. We just put print. And then we put our parentheses. The trick is here, we can have it print whatever we want. Okay? So I'm going to tell it to print at Comic-Con. You have, I'm going to put a space there. Oh, wait. I'm going to put a space in between the have here. Hold on, let me move this. See how I put a space in between the have and the quotation? Okay? And obviously, this is not a complete sentence, right? Do you all remember that big word that we did last semester called concatenation?
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to concatenate. So we're going to pull together. And something else I want you to, so we're going to pull together the strings, the text, and we got to tell it to pull together the strings. So again, we're going to go look at our cheat sheet over here. See where it says strings? String, it returns a string object. I know this is where your brain might start to hurt a little bit. We put string, and then we tell it to go look at our variable. Go away, don't do that. You guys still with me?
Yes.
Stop me if you get lost, okay? I'm putting a space and then another plus sign because these are all words. It's going to make a sentence and you want to make sure that you have the spacing in between. Quotation with a space. Characters. Once again, cannot spell. All right, so then I want it to print the names of the characters. And there are easier ways to do this. I'm just doing this very, very deliberately so that you guys can see where everything is. Okay, so what this does is this right here, let me know when, I'll wait till I don't hear you typing because I want to make sure that you guys hear what I have to say. Some of those cursors are really weird. Like they're not right where they need to be on the page. I feel for you because I was trying to do that the other day with someone's computer and it was really frustrating me. Okay, so this length right here, this variable is actually holding a number. Okay, this variable is holding a number. Okay, and the number, what do you think the number is? 5. Why is it 5?
Because that's a female name.
because there are 5 names in my list. And so I have to tell, the reason I have to put the string in front of the length here is because this right here is telling it that I need this to print to make the length a string in this particular sense. Okay? I needed to turn this number into a string at this moment. Okay, so I'm telling it to turn it into a string. Does that make sense? Okay. Did everyone already hit print? Did you already hit run?
No.
All right, so if you hit run, there you go. There's your output. That's what happens. Did it work? Did anyone get errors? You got an error?
Well, I've used to practice Python, so I know the input commands and how to run something.
Okay, so we have our first goal done in regards to what we want to do with list in, today. So list is named, it's done, it's created, it's linked, and then we have printed out. Okay, and everybody is good on this, yes? It's okay if you're not. Did yours work? Would I fix it? Okay. All right, so I'm going to comment this out so I can continue on. Come on, get up there. Difficult. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how we not manipulate, but we pull specific items from the list itself, okay? So we talked about how items on a list were indexed, right? So let's see. We have our dudes. What did I have on there? Chewie, Captain Kirk, Hermione. How do I spell her name? Storm. Okay, go. And Buzz. All right. So I've got my people. Okay. This is my list, but they are indexed in Python a specific way. Okay. We talked about this last semester with our block-based coding, but this should be kind of a review for everybody. They're indexed by numbers that Python has. Do you remember what the number starts with?
0.
0. They always start with 0. Okay, so we have our list name, and then we have our indexes. So it's important to know that whenever we're pulling information from the actual list itself. All right. Now, in order for us to manipulate the list and everything, that's also important because you use the numbers, not the names, not the actual names of the information here, to pull to manipulate the list, okay? All right. So with that being said, I'm going to actually just copy my list that I have up here. Actually, I'm going to copy everything from here to here. And I'm going to put it back down here. So you guys can do the same thing. All right, everyone's got a copy down? Ye- So I'm going to actually create another variable, and I'm going to call it first. And I'm going to put names. Okay, so again, I'm telling it to go look at my list. Now, when I want it to go find something in my list, I'm going to tell it that I'm going to put the square brackets around it again, and I'm going to go tell it, I'm going to give it a index number. So right now I'm going to say 0. So if I'm going to give it, if I'm telling it that this variable first is going to go look at the names list, and it's going to pull the 0 spot, what name is it pulling? Chewy. Okay. So it's right now that first variable is holding the name Chewy. You can, but that's another different situation. Like if you're doing a different, you can totally you can use random on any list. I mean, just like we did last time. All right, last names. Now let's see if you can figure this one out. Which one are we doing? Length, hang on, -1. Okay. Okay, we're doing length -1. What's the length number? What's the length? The length is 5 -1. What's 5 minus 1? 4. So what are we doing? Buzz. Okay. Okay, so now what I can do is I can do another print statement. And I can say first plus sign, whoops, plus sign. What are we doing with the plus sign? What's that fancy word that I said earlier? Concatenation. Concatenation is the first character, I can't spell again, I want to and last. Nope, no quotations. Don't put quotations around them. That was my bad. Oh my gosh. Issues with typing. All right, so these are easy ways to pull in the information that you want without actually having to go in and type and find the information every single time. So if I hit enter, see what it does? It pulls the information from the list and puts it in the front. It puts it at the front of the print statement. So far, so good? Yeah? Brain hurts yet? Anyone good? No one's falling down? No one's like going to sleep on me? Okay. All right. All right, where's my... Okay, you ready to do it with the for loop? Okay. So I'm going to copy everything from here to here again. I'm going to... Don't go to sleep on me. I hear yawning. Don't do that. So got everything copied there. How do I start a for loop? Okay, so what do we want the variable to be? X. Okay. In range. I heard somebody say that. Now, we're going to start at 0. And then we're going to add another argument to it. We're going to tell it to go with the length of names. So it's going to go through, it's going to start at 0 and it's going to go through the list. Okay? So that makes sense so far? We're telling it to go through the list, right? Okay. So we're going to do a print statement. Hello. Gonna plug that in there. Names. All right. Now, since we don't have an actual number of what, or an index number for what this is going to be at the time that it prints out, we're going to take our variable and plug in our variable here because that's what the range is telling us. The range will plug in whatever number or whatever index we need at that point in time. So what do you think this is going to print out?
Hello to all of us.
Hello. Hello, everybody. So do you understand how that one works? Yes? Yep. Having an error. Okay. Well, let's see. All right, here we go. The last one. This is the longest one. All right, we're going to copy the names. I'm going to indented those. Indented those. All righty. Okay, okay. Okay, here we go. So we have our names. Are you good, Garen?
Somehow I got one line behind. Never mind. I see what it's about.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. So we got our names and then we got our length. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and print the original list. I really wish that would quit popping up. Just for right now. I mean, it's helpful sometimes, but not right now. And then I'm going to tell it to print names. This is so we can see how it changes. And then you have a choice. You can print a blank line, so it'll give you a space in between, or you can print. So to print a blank line, all you need to do is just do something like that, with a quote with a blank spot, or you can also print a line, which is that.
You don't even have to use quotes.
No, well, you do have. Well, no, you don't.
I mean, if you just want to like copy and paste like a lot of lines.
Okay. So anyway, there's another shortcut, but we'll do that one later. I'm just teaching you the basics at the moment. Okay. So now we want to change a name of we want to take out Captain Kirk. So Captain Kirk is no longer cool anymore. Captain Kirk has lost his coolness. So we're going to, oops, not the curly brackets. So I'm going to mess with index number 1 because his index is number 1 because Chewy is 0 because our indexes start at 0. Yes? All right. So now I'm going to put Spock because Spock is cooler than Captain Kirk. And then print. And we're printing this just so we can see it whenever it's all done. I mean, normally we probably would not print all of this stuff, but this is just so that you can see what it all does when it's a sprock. I cannot, I'm telling you. All right. So we've changed one thing. We have changed and edited one thing in our list. Okay? Right? All right. Now we want to add something to our list because we have found another cool thing that we want to see at Comic-Con that is going to just be the bomb. And so we want to add something to our list that is going to, that we want to make sure that we don't miss. So in order to do that, we have to add, we have to append, oops, which is you put a dot there. So we're telling names that it needs to go and use and append. We are appending the list, which means we are adding information. And what it does, it adds it to the end of the list. It adds the information to the end of the original list. And we're going to add Rex because Rex is just cool. You know who Rex is, yes? He's the green dinosaur from Toy Story. So, and then I'm going to print Rex is added to the list. Okay, in order to add something, you must put names dot append. Okay. So that's to add something to the end of the list. So at this point, what number index would Rex be? Do you think? 5. And how long would our list be now? No, how long would our list be? 6. Six. Very, very good. All right. All right. Now we get to delete a name. All right. That's pretty simple. We put DEL in front of the name. And all we do is put the index number. So, and we have decided that Buzz is no longer our favorite. Well, Buzz is not as cool as Rex from Toy Story, so we're going to get rid of Buzz.
I don't agree with that.
What?
Broom. Okay. So let's go back and review. We have our original list of names. We have our length. Okay. We're going to print the original list of names. Then we're going to give ourselves a space in between. We're going to replace index 1 with Spock, which means that Captain Kirk is now, the place that holds Captain Kirk is now going to hold Spock. We are going to append our list to have Rex. So we're adding information to our list to hold Rex. And then we are going to delete index 4, which is holding where Buzz is, which will then put what in index 4? Rex. Very good. Very good. See, you guys are getting... Look at there. Look at all this stuff it printed. Anyone not work? Okay. Okay, so that is all the fun stuff that I wanted to show you about lists today. I know. Now for the, it's not unfun, it's just stuff you get to do in the practice, because you're going to practice using lists. All right, I'm going to post this on Classroom. All right, so directions. You're going to complete the following steps below. Please complete them in order. They're in order for a reason. You're going to use Replit. You can submit with a link or a screenshot of the code. Please put the link on the document so that I know that you have submitted it. If you share it with me, make sure that you put on here that you have shared it with me so that I know. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick a category and make a list of your 5 favorite things. You can do 5 actors, books, cars, whatever. Just school appropriate things, please. You're going to create 2 print statements, at least 2 print statements that include items from the list. You're going to add one item to the list, replace one item on your list, and delete one item from your list. And then you're going to use a for loop with a print statement to output the final list. Okay? All the things that we practiced today. Uh-huh. You guys good? Think you can do it? I'm going to post it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to post it. Let me stop my recording. So if anyone who is watching this later on has questions, just email me and let me know. All right. So I'm stopping.